Welcome to the Real Retirees of New Jersey, powered by Liberty Financial Group and Artemis Wealth Advisors.
If you take proper planning and you create a plan and you use the strategies that are available to you, the outcomes and the probabilities are much higher and in your favor than not.
Randy and Peggy Fisher want to help you retire once and retire right.
Thanks for streaming The Real Retirees of New Jersey with Peggy and Randy Fisher, all powered by Artemis Wealth Advisors and Liberty Financial Group. We invite you to get more here in the show notes, therealretireesofnewjersey.com. You can click the link or give the team a call at any time, 866-304-3656. My name is Mark Owens. Worldly Travelers. Peggy, Randy, where were you this time?
We were in Grenada.
Ooh.
Beautiful Grenada.
Didn't want to come back.
Yes.
Again.
Sunny and 85 in beautiful Grenada.
Here's how dumb I am. I'm literally having to Google Maps where Grenada is.
Well,
It's right off of, it's close to Aruba.
Yep.
Okay.
So we were in the flight path of Caracas.
Yes.
And you know what happened with Venezuela. So-
Yeah.
We
So
were
they
there.
should they shut that down?
They shut the the airspace
down?
off. Yeah, we were.
I loved it. I couldn't wait to get stuck for longer.
Yeah, well, we were hoping, but the people who were there before us, they were all in a panic because they shut the airspace down. Like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We have to stay in paradise for another day or two?
Yeah, that sucks.
Sunny and 85? What?
Oh my gosh, President Trump, thank you. I'm in.
Yes.
Oh, how dare you? Oh my
Yeah,
God, thank you.
exactly. We're like, yeah, hey, listen, you might just want to stay where you are.
like, what are you
Dude,
about?
calm down, you know what I mean? But B, you're in sunny and 85-degree weather. Why go back to New Jersey when it was actually snowing in about 20 degrees at that time?
All right, this is kind of a dumb question, but did you notice any extra air traffic? A couple extra little F-15s or anything like that? Or
No.
Have I
No,
watched too many Tom Clancy movies?
No, listen, you know what I did notice,
It was
though?
far enough away, but we did see a bunch of tankers.
We
get-
saw a lot of tankers. I'd be sitting on that lawn chair, right, looking straight out to that ocean, and I'd be like, Randy, I see another tanker. Do you think we overtook that? Like, what's going on over there?
There's no doubt we did.
Yeah, we definitely
in the
saw
news,
them.
They kept saying every day, like a
Yes.
tanker got taken over.
Yes.
And
I'm
you
like,
didn't see
that's
it
the
again.
tanker. I think we were only 80 to 100 miles away from Venezuela.
It was
So
close.
we were very close. Very, very close.
What were the
It's
people
very
like? Did they, and is it Grenada or Grenada? Grenada?
I don't know. Potato.
Potato, Grenada, Granada. And I
there's-
did ask that question, and different people saw, because I did say that. I go, is it
It's
Grenada
just the
or
spice.
Granada?
It's the spice island.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful island, actually. It really
was
is.
beautiful. Oh, we felt very safe there because there was like, it's not as safe. In fact, the United States put
Kept
something on
giving
there.
you warnings and stuff.
Not to travel to the Grenada, but
Right.
it was very safe where we were.
Listen, I'm going to call it that place is not America. What do they think of Americans? Because you travel some places.
They love Donald Trump.
Do
Yeah,
they?
They do. It's funny.
They-
we
they
had a lot of
basically say-
conversations
yeah.
with people, and they all say that they thought he was strong, and that it's amazing what he does. Yeah.
I mean, think of it this way: 99% of their island, or 95% of their island, is all tourism again, right?
Yes.
So, as long as the United States is strong and they got money to spend, that's what they're looking for.
There.
What was the occasion for this trip? Was this just a Peggy and Randy need to get some salt air and get away from the cold?
This
We
occasion,
lie every year.
This occasion is our every January getaway. Get out of New Jersey.
We call it our anniversary, but it's not.
Yeah, we do. Every time we go to Sandals, are you celebrating anything? Yes, our anniversary in January. It's really in April.
Sooner or later.
And they give you all the extra little perks, which is really nice. We enjoy those.
See, you're playing it. Playing the game.
You have to.
Hell
you
yeah.
Get, you get a lot of nice things
Gotta
for
get
that.
something out of it.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing. I'm not mad at you at all. Okay, so here's what I want to get to this week, because you sent me a great screenshot from AARP. And it was a conversation, or it was an article about a conversation that you have with the families you serve. As a matter of fact, it's a conversation you have with your own family, Peggy.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
The title of it was simply, Why We Told Our Kids All About Money.
And it said, why is sooner better than later? And I told you a story, and I'm going to tell everybody else too. So every time Randy and I go away, because now we travel together a lot, right? And I think it's very important because I do that for a living, and I see other people like scrambling, or if someone passes away, like all the chaos that ensues. So I tell my kids every time we literally get on an airplane, which is quite frequently, actually. I always tell them, I'm like, my first question is, who is the attorney? I make them tell me like the name, and they'll say his first name, but then they don't know the last name. Then I always give them a review. And then I say, where is the will located? And then we review that. Where is that located? And they're like, why do you always do this to us? I said, because you never know what could happen. And I want you guys, they're old enough. I have a 25-year-old, a 23-year-old, and an 18-year-old. Yep. They need to know if, God forbid, something happened to mom and dad, what would take place. I think it's such an important thing to tell your kids, especially as the article says, why sooner is better than later, which we can discuss.
I think they'd have a big party.
I don't think there would be a big party, Randy.
I think they would. I think they'd turn the cameras off. They don't have to worry about that anymore. And they would have a giant bash.
You're lying.
No, you know what's so funny too? We have 3 children, right? So I want them to know, and it says like things like that in the article is like, okay, guys, like I do have the conversation. We do have, life insurance policies. If something happens, the kids will be like, well, am I getting more? Am I getting more?
We have a responsible one.
Yes.
We have a moron, but now we got a clueless one.
Yes, that is true. It's kind of good.
I told you, we got the 3 little bears.
3 little bears.
Now, is there any mourning in this process of y'all dying, or does it just sound like a lot of
It's a celebration.
No, that's not true. It's so not true. But I like to
Ding
discuss
dong,
with them.
which is dead.
No. I do like to discuss with them though. Hey guys, I tell them all 3. It's going to be equal to all 3 of you. And yes, it is.
No, it ain't.
Actually, it goes 34, so the older one does get 1%, a little bit more. That's true. To equal 100.
Give her 90.
Yeah,
give them 10.
yeah, but it's true, and I do tell them that. I even tell the 18-year-old, and we used to discuss too, because he just turned 18, right? When he was 17, we still needed to worry about, like, in our will, things like, okay, if God forbid something happened to mom and dad, I had a discussion with them about who would take care of them. And it does say, like, in this article, it used to be like Aunt, Susie and Aunt Sally. But, I do have a daughter who's old enough, and I asked both of them at the time, what would you guys want to do? And they said, of course I would take care of,
Even the
little guy. So, that was good news to know that they all agreed upon that. So it was the discussion that we had before. And I was glad to know, too, in my head, they didn't want, if God forbid something happened to us, the youngest one to go to Aunt Sally and Aunt Susie. My oldest daughter was like, of course I would take care of him. She is 25, and married. So it's nice to know that if God forbid something happened to us, we've discussed this with them.
I told them I was going to put him with the angry aunt.
The angry aunt.
There are no angry ants.
Oh, yeah, there is.
No, there's not. Well, yes, there is. That is
There
correct.
isn't, huh? Check with the kids.
Yeah, I know. Check with me.
I'll put it with the one that doesn't like you at all.
That's Randy's sister.
they all-
Hell yeah.
they all don't like
so
me.
let's just say
There's
it.
not a lot of people who like me. Hell, I don't even like myself half the time.
How does that conversation go? I mean, part of this article talks about how to do it. How do you have the conversation with your kids? And we're not talking like young kids. We're talking about grown adult kids.
Yes,
because it can be
exactly.
uncomfortable. Because I can tell you this, I never knew anything about my parents, what their salary was, what they had in savings. We never had that. It's just something you don't breach, but it's something as your kids get older you need to have. So how do you do it?
So, well, it even says here, like, too, in this article, it says, do not wait until the person is, like, dying of dementia. Do you know what I'm saying? And can't tell you about anything.
You don't die of dementia.
You can die of dementia. Absolutely, you can. But what it says in this article is have the conversation a little bit earlier with the older kids if you want. And you can make it as like soft and easy as you want to make it by just saying, hey guys, just want to let you know there's a will, there's an attorney if something happens to us. Or you can go deep into it. Hey guys, if something does happen, this is what's going to take place, or this is what we have. This is what you're going to get
right now.
Yeah. And listen, we do with our clients see that, right, Rance? I mean, we definitely see like some battle royale.
I think I don't think it's great, but it actually does add for some comedy.
Yeah, it can. What sister, is in charge, or
that's all she left me.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe it.
Yeah,
I got to pay taxes.
Yeah. How dare they leave me $500,000? I have to pay taxes on that? And we actually had clients like that. I wanted to oh my God,
You have to play like therapist, like family therapist.
We 100% play therapist.
Yeah,
we do. I mean, I quite enjoy it, but we do play therapist 100% about when someone passes. So
you're going to give somebody some tips here, or you're just going to that?
Well, go ahead. Why don't you give some tips, Randy?
I didn't read the article.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't read
So what some of the tips were is you should talk to your kids about, hey, these are our monthly bills. This is our house. This is how much is left on the house. This is what the taxes are. This is where.
What are we talking to? 16-year-olds? Or are we talking 38-year-olds?
Even a
If they don't know what a bill is, we got a problem.
No, right. It's not a matter of we don't know what a bill is. It's about really telling them what the parents' bills are.
Listen,
like how much is it?
Let's be honest here. Everybody that actually has kids that are grown and they're on their own and somebody else dies, what's the first thing that they're looking for?
Inheritance.
Money and inheritance.
Yeah, right.
You think they want to know about the bills? They want to know about the assets.
No.
They want to know about what's worth, where's the money, where's the funds.
Well, yes and no. Okay, let me tell you this. As a grown man, I'm in my late 40s. I'm married. I've got a kid. My mom's not getting any younger.
Right.
I do need to know. Of course, I'm worried about, hey, inheritance.
Yeah.
But I also need to, like, if something's going to happen to her, is the house paid off? Where's this? So, I mean, there is a point where you have to say, like, hey, I don't want to, like, because I'll be honest, selfishly, I don't want to deal with lawyers and probate and all that jazz. So at least tell me where we're at.
And it says just don't blindside them. Don't, even if you want to give them a little bit of information, that's much more helpful than just saying, like you just said, you really have no idea, right? Yep. So it's like when that does happen, and we see that here with clients. I have clients who, the husband or wife has passed away, and the other half, that's alive, will say, "Oh God, I'm still going through everything. I didn't even know that we had this at the bank. I didn't know we had these credit cards. I didn't know we had to pay these kind of taxes." I mean, we do see that. You know what I mean? So I think it's very important, especially, as someone gets older and can't really tell you about it, that it is very important to talk about it with your kids. And like I said, it can be as little as you really want to tell them.
It's not even about being older. I mean, we had a couple in here the other day that went to one of our workshops not too long ago. And there was about a 20-year, 15, 18-year age discrepancy between
close to 20. Right? Like 19-year-old. Yeah, and 19 years.
And you can tell that she's very interested in what was going on, but she doesn't really take charge of the finances, right?
She doesn't. And then he shut down everything we asked. So I was like,
he was very ambiguous, and he basically just talked in riddles, right? Well, my friends at the office, they basically told me this. Or, this is the way I think it works.
And no, my spouse isn't the person who is the...
No, I don't know if she's the beneficiary.
I don't think she's the beneficiary on the pension.
I thought she was going to throw him out the window.
Yeah, well, she kind of lit up when I'm like, usually the spouse is the beneficiary on the pension.
But the first question she asked was, if he passes away, could you take care of us?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Without a doubt, we'll take care of everything.
Right, exactly. But even in that aspect, so that's not even about your kids. This is just about a husband and wife who came into the office, and she didn't really have a clue about...
Neither of them did.
That's true. But I felt...
Which is fine. I mean, that's the way, most of the time, the way it works.
Yes.
You have an idea way it works, but it's not precisely the way it works, right? I mean, I understand the way a heart works, but when I go into a doctor's office and they tell me I have a problem or I don't have a problem, then, they get down to the nitty gritty.
So then again, it was too about talking to a financial planner. Because at that point, she literally was like, she goes, "Oh, good, but you guys would help me out, right? If something happened to him, And we're like, yes, that's what we're here for. So that is like another point that you just asked, Mark, like what to do. It's also nice to know, hey, mom and dad, do you guys have a financial planner that you're working with? Or hey, mom and dad, is there someone who we should be talking to about that? Because we do have a lot of people who come in here, even with their children, right, Rand? They'll bring their kids in here and say, hey, this is Randy and Peggy. If anything happens to me, just call them. We have a lot of clients that say that.
I've had a couple meetings with the kids. And
yes.
The client's not even here because they just can't make it into the office anymore. And we say, hey, would you like us to come out to your place? And they're like, no, my kids will come see you.
Yeah, exactly. So. And they'll take care of, helping with the paperwork. Or even, I'm on the phone a lot of times. I could think of a client right now. I just had a stroke, so he can't, come to the office, and he needs help doing things. And I talk to the daughter all the time with him on the phone, and we just go through it together, which is, they both say at the end of the conversation, like, thank God we have you and Randy here to help us with this. And it's just very easy. And again, we go back to that trust factor. Yep. It's nice to just know that
his wife just passed away.
Yeah, right. It's just nice to know that you trust, someone, if God forbid something happens like that, like their dad had a stroke and, we are the financial planner. She was like, I'm so glad that I knew that I was talking to you guys, ahead of this. And so I knew that I had someone that I could trust and talk to. So that's just a really nice thing too, about when you have like a financial planner who can help you out with those kind of issues,
Again, full disclosure, I didn't read the article. But I want to make a couple comments.
Go ahead, Randy.
So when it's husband and wife and someone passes away, it's a little, I can't say it's easier. It's easier from a planning standpoint because there's somebody that's still there that's stable, and you definitely got to build a plan around it.
Yeah.
And basically pick up the pieces
right.
and put it all together. And you have time to go through paperwork where things were. And you should be pretty organized prior to that anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. Should be and are two different things.
I think the more interesting conversation that we should have is the people who have mixed families, where they were married once, they became married again, they have kids on both sides, and then somebody passes away. That's where there's a huge, huge discrepancy between what they really want to happen and what happens.
Yeah.
Who stays in the house? Whose house was it, right? There's a couple different times where I can remember that someone moved into a house. The kids, the person who passed away, it was their parent. They want the house.
Yeah.
And they're literally like throwing the other person out the door.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you have plans arranged prior to somebody passing away that will stop kids from literally throwing you out?
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, you talked about tough conversations or easy conversations. These are required conversations because there are a lot of times where it is a second marriage and sometimes people don't get along.
Yeah,
right?
Big time. Yeah, we see that.
While someone is still alive, there may be a peaceful and a civilized conversation, but as soon as somebody is put 6 foot under and they're not even, cold yet, next thing you know, the hyenas are around.
Yeah.
And they're all picking bones and they're throwing people out of houses.
Exactly. And the crazy thing is, it even says, like in this article, right, Minding the Gap, 34% of boomers say legal and financial planning is the most relevant later in life conversation topic. But only 14% of those boomers who rank it as number one have discussed it with their children. So again,
there's two factors to that.
Yeah.
It's the uncomfortableness in the conversation, right? Nobody wants to talk about dying and death and all that good stuff.
Or the money issue of it.
Number two is it has to do with finances and money. But I think what also coordinates with that money standpoint is everybody thinks it's very expensive to go to an attorney to get things taken care of.
Right.
It really is not.
I know, exactly.
It really is not, ladies and gentlemen. Right. In fact, I would say this. It's a hell of a lot more expensive if you don't.
Exactly, right.
So, take those things into consideration. Then you hear people, well, I don't care. I'll be dead by then.
Yeah,
well, okay, that's true.
Exactly, right.
But, if you do value what you've done over your lifetime and you've made all those sacrifices and you do want something to go to somebody or you want something specific to happen, you better make sure that you do it before you pass away.
Right, exactly.
Or become incapacitated, like Peggy said.
And it says about 76% of the adult children want to know if they are named beneficiary. Only 35% of the parents feel a need to tell them, which is interesting too. And I think that's like old school. Like you said before, Mark, it's just like out of sight, out of mind. Like they don't need to know how much I made. They don't need to. They'll know when I die. You know what I mean?
Like leave a treasure map. It would take like months for them to find everything.
Our kids would actually enjoy that.
I think they would.
Yeah, they would.
And then when they get to the bottom line and it's empty, that'd be awesome.
Well, I don't want to make them empty. No, that's
like,
that's not enjoyable. No.
Have fun.
Even in death, you're still screwing me over. What are you doing?
Yeah, right.
Do you at both Liberty Financial Group, Artemis Wealth Advisors, that's Peggy Fisher, that's Randy Fisher, tag team together to create retirement strategies? Do you build like this what if file, the when file, the folder of all the information? I guess you could say like the passwords and what we need to know. Can you build that for people, for adults who want to say, hey, look, my kids live in another state, but God forbid if something happens to me, boom, here's the information.
Well, yeah. And so what we have, like our clients, I just was thinking about a client whose wife just recently passed. He, emailed me and say, hey, I just had a great conversation with 3 of my kids. They just want to know, what I have. So what we do here is, yes, we put together, a summary. So he has it, the children have it. Hey, this is what dad has. You know what I mean? So we always make sure for our clients. Yes, and so we do summaries quite often for all of our clients, especially ones that have passed and really like, hey, listen, I really need to get up to date with this. And we make sure that there's a nice summary for the children too, so that, dad can give that to the kids and say, hey, if God forbid something happens to me now that mom has passed, this is what I have. Call Randy and Peggy.
That's a good point, Mark, because, we talked about resolutions a couple times on the past couple podcasts. Yeah. Because we're into 2026 here. This is a great time to update all that information.
Yes.
How about just passwords? Mm-hmm. How about where your bank accounts are? What doctor, lawyer, accountant, financial advisor, everything that you basically have, right? If you start writing all that stuff down on a piece of paper, not only that, there's this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
You can go to and you can just type in, last will and testament ideas. Yeah. Right. Or you can put in there checklist for my beneficiaries. And there are about like 800,000 pages that are going to pop up.
Yeah.
And just take one that you think is relevant to yourself, make a photocopy of it, and then just start writing some stuff down. And something as simple as credit cards, bank accounts, right?
Yeah.
IRAs, all this different stuff that you actually have out there. Social security numbers. How about that one?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many people do not know someone else's social security number.
That's true.
Parents or children.
Yeah. My 18-year-old just came in here the other day. He was filling out an application. He goes,
I don't know.
What's my social security
number? I got to
number?
look at her 1040.
I said, well, no, you look at the 1040. I go, wait, I'm going to go to my file. I have the kids' files.
Okay.
And I
Your
did.
safe spot?
In my safe spot, the file. And I told my 18-year-old this. I go, listen, this is something you need to memorize right this second. You will need your social security number for almost everything you do. Start memorizing it.
There are a lot of times parents know kids.
Yes,
but kids don't know parents.
That is correct.
Right?
Well, going back to the beneficiaries and stuff like that, I'll give you a personal thing. We have our own life insurance policies. I happened to call on Randy's the other day and was, saying how I was going to make a payment. And I was like, oh, we just want to confirm the beneficiary. And she says, there was no beneficiary on that.
She changed it from
I go, what? I was like, wait, did you just say there's no beneficiary on his policy? So I was like, Randy, get on the phone here. Come on, tell him who the beneficiary is going to be. But that was my own personal thing. We've had that policy, Mark, for
30 years.
30 years. There was no.
The reason why it was because it was taken out prior to us being married.
That is correct, but I always thought that there was a beneficiary on it.
There is.
Could you imagine?
Well, there was.
Yeah. So then
the other one.
Then I went through all of the life insurance. Yeah. Well, then I went through all the life insurance. So here I am, Mark, through all the other life insurance policies. Could you please tell us who the beneficiary is on this policy? But that's my own. Here I am, a financial planner. That was my own personal thing. I thought I was the beneficiary. Don't think, folks. Do not think. Make the phone call or go online and make sure you check all of those because it's
401ks.
So important. Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So 401ks, IRAs, life insurance, group life insurance from work and employers.
That's correct.
Past group life insurance.
100%, folks. I'm telling you, make sure you check over all that, especially as we always talk about.
This is a great time for a review, without a doubt.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
In fact, we do most of our reviews in January and February with our clients, and then we do them again about May, June, and then we do them again about September, and then again on.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely a good time to get together and discuss all those little details. And listen, everything changes in life.
Yep.
And if nothing's really changed, then just basically say, hey, listen, I got to update a couple things.
Yep.
And no one likes to give away passwords, so don't go giving passwords to anybody, but keep your own little file for passwords. And make sure that you know where it is.
Yeah.
I can only come up with a different version of the same password so many times.
So does Peggy.
Yeah.
And then she still can't
Me and you, Mark.
Well, one thing you should be able to remember is to reach out to the team at Artemis Wealth Advisors. That's Randy Fisher. Liberty Financial Group. That's Peggy Fisher. It's the Real Retirees of New Jersey for that initial no cost, no obligation consultation. You can find all that information here in the show notes. And thank you, as always, for the education and information. And thank you for streaming this week's show. We're back next week, but for the entire team, this has been the Real Retirees of New Jersey with Peggy and Randy Fisher.
We are an independent financial services firm helping individuals create retirement strategies using a variety of financial and insurance products to custom suit their needs and objectives. Investment advisor services offered through Artemis Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Artemis Wealth Advisors is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Please consult with your attorney, accountant, and or tax advisor for advice concerning your particular circumstances. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Randolph A. Fisher, insurance license number 9616074, and Liberty Financial Group, LLC, and Peggy Fisher, national license number 189420003 and 5705833.